Hello, 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 everyone. How are you today? It's me, Dorothy Guide, and I'm back. And of course, I'm talking about Manhood Interrupted, an answer for the red pill myth. Boom! Here it is. See the red pill, blue pills, more pills. That will be available April 2022. Hopefully this isn't your first time running into me, but if it is, welcome. Glad to have you. My Manhood Interrupted book talks about periods in history where manhood had came to where it wasn't defined in traditional ways at that time, and it had to change, grow, and develop. The reason why I'm talking about Manhood Interrupted is an answer for the red pill community is because they say that they have the forum because they want to understand women and won't be confused and frustrated by them, and that women, have created all the problems in society, and now they won't even let men complain about them, and some other things, that women's rights are more important than men's rights. And when I started thinking about how could I address that if someone asked me or spoke to me on that, or if I wanted to comment on some of the postings I've seen. And the thing is, to have a healthy relationship is only as healthy as the two people that are in it. So we have to start at the beginning. You have to find a woman that is healthy in all the important aspects, like mentally, educationally, physically, sexually, relationally, spiritual, religiously, educational, health. You have to have a healthy person. You have to desire a healthy person. We always check in bank accounts, That is not what true person, spirit, soul, the person you want to spend your lifetime with is about. Finances come and go. We're in a recession now where meat is so expensive, people are having a hard time buying it. They can't afford gas. And so material things come and go. You may be up, you may be down, you may be struggling, whatever, but it's who you're with and who you're struggling with, and who you're with when there's good times, who you chose to be with when there's bad time. That's your choice. That's what you're deciding. I want someone, a human, that is right for me, and I want to grow with and get old with, and children. It's not I want to build an empire. If you look for a person to help build an empire, it takes a lot of people to build an empire, and you have to have a lot of strength and leadership, foresight. It's a business, it's whatever, but that's not a foundation for a relationship. So what I'm talking about today is rites of passage. And as everybody know, because America is a melting pot, we had immigrants coming in from everywhere. Slaves were brought in against their will, of course. Native American was pushed and pushed away and isolated. But a lot of the people did not bring their cultural traditions and practices, and the rites of passage have gotten lost for the United States and maybe for Europe. I don't know. There are places where rites of passage are performed, and they're in countries that are don't have not high on an economic scale, but they still have rites of passages because it's important. And I think it would be an important factor in our communities now and in manhood. And I just saw a lady on Facebook who trying to initiate and start a rite of passage for women. And what that rite of passage is, you're going from one state transforming to another state. And the problem is that the rite of passage from child to adult, or boy into manhood, which we are most familiar in because I wrote a book on manhood. I'm going to speak on the rite of passage for men. We have children, and the baby boomers did it, and the millennials did it. I'm going to give my children what I did not have. The kids have brand new cars at 15 and 16. They have all the electronics, the best iPhones, everything for social media at their fingertips. They have on designer clothes from birth. I mean, Nike shoes, all these things, and I know Nike probably low. Y'all probably say, ha, 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 she's talking about Nikes. That's low quality, because we done got high quality, low quality. And all of this, and they give it, the girls have their extensions in by 1st grade, and it's just wild that these kids are equal in standing in material things as adults, and then you wonder why they are unruly and you can't be told anything, because you have made them believe they're your equal. They have everything you have, and you say, and they have a right to have everything you have, and they should have everything you have, and then they have the attitude of an adult, and here they are 12. And you can't do anything with a 12-year-old, and they're demanding and telling you, well, now what to go buy me, now what to get me, now what I need. You need to go get me another car. I've wrecked 3 of them, but I need another one, and off you go. Off you go. So there's no separation between child and adulthood. And I'm telling you, childhood is important to learn to play, run, jump, get dirty, roll around. You're learning skills. You're building your body structure. You're getting fit. You're getting air. You're getting exercise. It's great to roll on the floor. You better not roll on the floor in them clothes, Susie. Susie will get smacked if she get on the floor and roll around in her designer clothes. Kids are supposed to jump and play. That's what it's for. Their brain isn't developed for much else. You're trying to make a mannequin out of them, putting them clothes on them and telling them to sit down and be pretty and better not get a spot on them. That's what you're doing, making a mannequin. But children's brains haven't even developed, and play develops the brain. Sing-alongs, cartoons, all that jazz, playing little games with their own hands, making devilish mud pies. You're like, oh my gosh, she is so old and country. Oh my gosh, you're just ruining your children. And I said it. You're making little mini adult you. Got pictures of babies barely walking, still in diapers, little knees still knocking together. And they got the little midriffs off, got their bag, and got their fluff, probably got their nails done. Stop. Stop. Let children and babies be children and babies. Let them know that I don't have any responsibility. I don't have any cares. I have parents just looking out for my well-being and caring for me and supplying my needs. I'm free, not responsible, to play, to grow, to learn. Okay? And you got them in they think they're grown when they're 12 and 14, and you cannot reel them back in. But when there was a rite of passage, it was distinctly known that once a boy became a certain age, he would no longer be a child. He would no longer be considered to do what children do. And there's 3 phases of rites of passages, okay? And it said 3 phases that constitute a proper rite of passage are separation, transition, and reincorporation. And like I said, the kid is out there doing, I'm sure he got some chores and stuff, but he is not treated as an adult. He don't have adult luxuries. He don't have adult responsibilities because he is a child. He is a child. So he's not wanting and lusting after things that are above him. He know his station. Kids don't have that. That don't belong for children. You are a child. Go do child things. Play with sticks or whatever. But you are not equal to adults who get up and go to work, make money, and then budget and spend on food, rent, and then when they have money left, or save for the good stuff. Some children have better phones. Mama, you got your phone better. I can't go to school with this kind of phone. Give me your phone. You give them the phone. Ooh, child. Children are children. Let them be children. Okay, in separation, the boy is separated in some way from his former life. Part of his old self is extinguished preparing for a new identity. And what we say, separated in some way from his former life. So his former life consisted of hanging out with mom in the hut, in mom and dad hut, or their home, or that situation, and he's separated from that. He knows when he gets ready to go. He's leaving that part behind. Mama knows now that he's leaving home, and he's not going to be a child in her home under her care. And daddy also understands that his son is not gonna be in his home to be watched over and cared for as he did when he was a child. So there's a separation. A part of the old self is extinguished. You leave things behind. He is gonna leave behind swinging in trees, swinging in trees, playing all day, hanging out by the river, whatever. It's part of his self is extinguished, preparing for his new identity. Do you understand? A new identity. No longer a boy. I am going to incorporate a new identity. So the transition, this is the part where he's between two worlds. He is taught knowledge that's needed to become a member of the group. He's getting ready to get the rite of passage. He's going to pass into a new grouping. You know, you had the gangs that did initiation, so you could pass into that group. And that's pretty much, you can see why gangs developed. It gave them a new identity. I'm no longer this. I was initiated and passed into this. Now I have left this behind and I formed a new identity. Even that was on a negative side. So when they say he's between two worlds, he's left this one behind. And this is what he is aiming to get to. But he has to stay right here. If he fails and cannot meet the standards of the with the older people that of the group is telling him he should be, it's very hard to go back to being a child. And you're 21, 19, whatever age it is, when they say you need to be a boy a little bit longer, and then we will see if you're able to go into manhood. So this is a major point in a young man's life. He knew it was coming. He more than likely was looking forward to it, nervous, excited to be something different and new, sense of accomplishment. So he's between the two worlds. So then you have reincorporation. Now, reincorporation means that he passed the test. Yay! He passed the test necessary and proving his worthy to be part of the group. And so he's reintroduced to his community, which recognizes and honors him as a changed man. So during that time, you have different men pouring in different, their knowledge, their wisdom, their skill, their techniques for life, strategies, what they know about women, what they know about men, and they're just being poured into and given different skills and whatever. And the boy has a sense of accomplishment. He knows that I have something now that allows me to function as a man in manhood. I've been poured into and probably will continue to be poured into because there's a grouping there for him. And he'll be continue to be poured into. And that's a wonderful thing to know that you're different and better and wiser and skilled and prepared and also responsible for your actions and how you carry yourself and what you do from that point on. So then they say that person now is changed. He belongs to manhood. He understands what it is to be a man and to live as a man. And now he has gone back and with pride introduced to say, look here is a man, no longer a boy. And now he is treated and recognized as a man. And so he's not expected to play. He's not expected to be doing trickeries and getting caught and getting in trouble or anything to ruin his reputation. He wants a good standing to his name and who he is and what he is going to, how he's going to use the skills now to make his life in the future, because he has this time, this passage, and now changed, and now he has told you on a new path, and I've given you wisdom and knowledge and skills to obtain the way of life you would like, or a better life, or add to and grow more. He knows he's set out now on a path of being able to take care of himself as well as a family. So he has recognized that, and they honor him. You are somebody, and to have honor, you can lose honor. He can lose the respect, he can lose the recognition, and go right back to acting like a boy. You know, he could, that's his choice, his decision. But how wonderful it would have been with all that knowledge and experience poured into you. Why wouldn't you want to live into manhood? And that is missing. Our boys now stay in perpetual boyhood. There's no rite of passage from being a boy to becoming a man, living in manhood. They just say, I'm a man, you better respect me as a man. And like I always say, it takes the X and Y chromosome and time to become a man. But it takes action and knowledge and reflection and purpose to live into manhood. If you understand what manhood is, the provider, protector, and procreator. Provide, protect, and procreate. And a boy playing can't do those things. Out there sowing his wild oats, as I say in Rites of Passage, which they are encouraged to just go once you turn 18 and just get out there and live it up and sow those wild oats and have a ball. And that's what they do. Something to look forward to, the young boy had, and the young girl should have that same feeling of something better yet to come, something grand, something purposeful, something that's important, womanhood. And so they should have that period also. And like before military, they considered, the sociologist said military kind of stood in for the rite of passage. The boy turned 18. He left his childhood home. He went off and joined the military. He had a period of instruction from all over, feeding them skills, knowledge, information. And then when he reincorporated, when he came back home, people said, oh, he's a man now. He's changed. He's not like he used to. They did not expect him to act like a high school boy anymore. They said, oh, this boy got some special skills and training. They think, you know, judo. When I went to the military, I was in the army, and come at people thought I knew assassin techniques. They thought I had all this kind of training. Don't mess with her. Don't mess with her. So I was recognized as changed and different. And I was treated as such and recognized as such. You know, I was Uncle Sam's. I wasn't a kid anymore. I was different. So that rite of passages was stood in for a long time for young men to go off and come back changed, different, and better, ready. And they got married and had a family and did the whole thing. But that doesn't happen too much now. So like I said, men are still living in an extended childhood. Me, myself, while doing this book, I figured that college is a great blend. You leave your childhood home. You go off for a period of training. And then you belong to a group. You pass your test. You belong to your group of the educated. And with education, you're distinguished, respected, and then you come back and reincorporate into your community, and people know that you are changed. You have a nice job. You carry yourself in a respectable way. You give back to your community. Start a family. So college is a wonderful rite of passage. The thing is, girls are going to college. Right now, 60% of the earned college degrees are by women. And men just don't go to college. And the number one reason why men don't go to college, they say, I don't want to. End of story. That's the reason. When men are asked, why don't you go to college? I don't want to. I do not believe it's necessary. 18, I don't believe it's necessary. Now, what I have observed is they want that quick little dollar. They want that quick paycheck. Why they want that quick paycheck? To go to the clubs, to ride in the cars, to bling out their cars. They're hanging with their buddies. They are still in that little childhood group. They are still hanging with their buddies. They're glad to have a little paycheck to get gas money and beer money. They don't even, I don't know how much they spend on their clothes, but and then they have a car that they put attention to. And like I say, they're out there and they encourage to sow your wild oats. So they're out there procreating. I said, if the three-legged stool, if one of them is paid more attention and they're not balanced, the stool will collapse. And at that time, there's no paying attention to providing, protecting. It's just procreating. Just procreating. And I know that, and while they're out there doing that, hanging with their friends, having a good time. What they say, that's what it's for, to have the good time. But they're out there with their friends and they're living their life and they're making a bad reputation, most of them, for themselves. They're going to be behind in their physical security, and they're going to have they're going to have children out of wedlock. And then they're going to have to establish yourself. And this one, I say, that's when the men hit the wall. You understand, the red pill men say women hit the wall when their beauty is no longer a market value. They can't use it anymore. They're not pretty anymore. They can't get and reject men like they did before. But listen to me. Men hit a wall when they decide it's time to stop hanging out with their buddies and drinking and playing and just going through enjoying life, having sex with this woman, leaving this woman. They might have 4 and 5 children by 4 and 5 baby mama. Then they realize one day, I'm tired of this. I want someone that cares for me when I'm sick, there for me when I'm down, going to support me in what I do. And you can't get anybody. You've ruined your reputation in your community. You did not take those years of sowing your wild oats to establish yourself financially with education or vocational training or a plan for your future. Quick money in 4 years, right there, quick money is better than not having for 4 years and going to college, that you can have anything you want, you put your mind to, with a great job. They cannot take that 4 years of not partying and sowing wild oats, because what? They were not raised to go through a rite of passage from childhood to manhood. So it's an extended childhood. It's just an extended childhood until they like, oh, this don't work anymore. And they hit that wall. The men have a wall too. When they get tired of just being with their hard-legged buddies and they want something soft to lay on. They want something that kiss them back, that talk to them. You know what I'm saying. So that's their wall. And like I said, they done messed up their reputation. It was such a beautiful young man, handsome as he can be, was in the psych ward. And I was like, why are you here? And he said, I could have any woman that I wanted, and I went through every woman. I was just enjoying myself, woman after one woman. It was great. It was wonderful. He said, but then when I wanted to have a real girlfriend, nobody would talk to me. They all said I was going to use them. I couldn't convince anybody that I changed. And he had a breakdown. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was that harsh. But he had ruined his reputation. And like I said, now you're behind. And now you need to be financially stable to have a woman, to marry a woman, and have a family. And you wasted those years on right now, little check to have fun. And it did. It allowed you to have fun, but it didn't set you up for life. And now you're behind, and women are like, what do you do? Where do you live? What do you have? And like I said, 60% of the women are graduating with at least a 4-year degree. And they're saying we can't find any man that have graduated college, have a 4-year degree, that can match us equally in education and ability and life goals and understanding. And so they really think you're not educated. They will not say it. But they think you're not educated and you're not able to think and grow and move. And it's not fair because everything is based on formal education. Street education is wonderful. Technical education is wonderful. But a lot of things are assumed. If you didn't take the time to build yourself, they don't think they can build anything with you then. So college is a great way to go through the rite of passage. When you leave boyhood behind, get a point of instruction, and then a changed, different person, ready for the world, prepared, poured into with understanding. And of course, we know college graduates don't get jobs, especially in this time, right off the bat, especially for you. We all know that, but they are a step ahead, and you cannot deny that, okay? And then we do have a lot of single female households who do not even encourage the male to be that time from birth, not wait till he's 17 and say, are you going to college? You need to go to college. Of course, he's going to say no. But encouraging him to be his best and letting him explain that you need this time to grow. It's a great environment to grow and to mature and become. It's actually fun in college, too. It ain't like you're going off to a war camp or something. College is fun. It's exciting, especially in that age group of new discoveries and things. And you with people that have goals, so you're in an environment that's constantly encouraging and supporting and introducing you to new ideas and new chains of thought. Maybe you change your major and do this. You never thought of that. It's great to be in an environment of hope and promise. It's wonderful. Instead of always in a group of laughing and joking and talking about people and doing all that stuff that young men do when they're kids. So I wanted to say that, but this other thing, single female household, where the household is ran by a single female, has increased exponentially, and that's because of sowing wild oats and dip here, dip there, got a child here, got a child there. A lot of sowing of wild oats, enjoying yourself, young people, having children. Women have 2 or 3 children. I had a child before I got married, and then I got married. So it's not uncommon. But like I said, women can raise men and help usher them with help of the community, with support and understanding and purposefulness into manhood. Let your children be a child. Let them be kids. Let them know you are a kid, right? Some of them raising them to be their best friend, so they hurry up and get them up 7, 8 years old. It's my best friend. You hear daughters all the time, my mama is my best friend. And mama just grinning. Yeah, my mama's my best friend. Me and her are so tight. That's my best. What I told you, I'm your mother. One. You don't have but one mother. You will have friends forever. Friends will come and go. Friends will tell you what they want you to hear, and friends will lie to you. I'm your mom, one special. You can come to me and trust 100% what comes out of my mouth when you ask me a question or ask me my opinion. You know 100% I'm not stabbing you in your back, and when you have successes, I'm not trying to tear you down or turning my nose up at you and say, look at her, look at what she got. I don't want to be your friend. I want to be your mother. I want to be your mother. I don't want to be your best friend. So we have women who raise daughters to be best friends, some sons to be best friends, but a lot of them raise them and they're stand-in husband. T.D. Jakes told y'all to quit that. You raising these men to take a place of your husband you never had. He's the one going to give you that attention. You beautiful mama, you special mama. My life has changed without you, mama. Oh, mama, this, I'll never leave you. Whatever you want, mama, I'm here for you. I do this. And they do not raise their sons to leave home and get a wife. They do not raise a son to break away from them to be independent. They are stand-in husbands. And they feel that from a young man, they feel that space of a man that will never leave me, that's always there, and not in a sexual way. Please, perverts, don't think I'm saying in a sexual way. It's on an emotional way, and it's wonderful. A son's love for a mother is some kind of special, but mothers, you're crippling your sons if you're not preparing them to grow up to be men, to enter manhood, to establish their own home, be independent, and take a wife and raise a family. That is the greatest honor and glory that you can have with your son, to help usher him into manhood, and to understand that you will always be his mama. You will always be his first love. But a man is to cleave to a wife, you know. And a lot of them are like, man, don't mess with her. She just after your money, you know. Got babies all here and there, and you know, how you know that's your child? He got 12 already. I'm sure that's 13. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that, you know, but this is true. Okay, I've done that. Let's move on to something else, people, which is me. If you want to see me, I'm at DorothyGuyton.blogspot.com. I'm on Twitter at In Defense of Women, the letter N, DEFENSE of Women. And on Facebook, I'm Dorothy Guyton, author, Dorothy Guyton, author. Oh, I look forward to our chat. I enjoy it so much. Like I say, I hope a lot of women come. Tell a friend. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Do something. Do something, people. Let me know you're out there. There's nothing else to say but stay happy. Stay healthy. God loves you, and I love you too. Until next time, okay?